Hello everyone. So today we are going to discuss about few experiments, simulation experiments of analog circuit laboratory. Okay, so out of 12 experiments, 4 experiments are simulation experiment. So the first simulation experiment, that is simulate RC phase shift oscillator and Hartley oscillator. And the next one is simulation of filters, narrow band pass filter and narrow band reject filter. This we have already completed. Then next one is simulation of precision half and full wave rectifier and simulation of monostable and astable multivibrator using 555 timer. So the first one that we are going to discuss today, that is simulation of RC phase shift oscillator and the Hartley oscillator. Okay, so the Hartley, this is regarding the oscillator. I hope you all know about the basic concepts of oscillator. Under this, we are going to study two types of oscillators, RC phase shift oscillator and Hartley oscillator. So let us start with the learning objective of this experiment, that is to understand the simulation of RC phase shift oscillator and Hartley oscillator using PSpice. So simulation software we are going to use here, it is the OrCAD PSpice. So what is the output? What simulation output you will be getting from these two circuits if you use a PSpice software that you are going to study. And then the aim of this experiment is to simulate these two oscillators, RC phase shift and the Hartley oscillator. Next is the material required. As you all know, we are going to simulate these two oscillator circuit using the OrCAD PSpice software. Okay. Next is design. Yeah. So few basic concepts I'll tell you regarding the oscillators. That is, what is an oscillator basically? Basically, this oscillator acts as a generator. In a sense, it is generating the output signal which oscillates with the constant amplitude and constant desired frequency. Okay. So next is, or else I can say in a one more way, that is without an input. It is not making use of any input signal. Without an input, the output will continue to oscillate, whose frequency depends upon the feedback network or the amplifier, or it may depend upon feedback network and the amplifier network. Such a circuit we call it as an oscillator. Means it is not going to make use of any input. Without the input, it is going to produce some oscillations with a constant frequency, amplitude, constant frequency and amplitude. Okay, so here we are going to study about RC phase shift oscillator. Okay, so RC phase shift oscillator. So here the very first point, sinusoidal oscillator usually consists of an amplifier and the feedback network. So oscillator means it is going to give some oscillations of desired constant frequency and amplitude without using an input. So this oscillator consists of two main blocks, that is one block in the forward path and one more block in the feedback path. So in the forward path, feed forward path, we will be having an amplifier block. Amplifier is used to amplify the attenuated signal of the feedback network. So in the feedback path, we will be having the feedback network. In this feedback network, the signal will be attenuated. So what is the main aim of your feedback network is, that is why your feedback network is used is, so or else what is the input to this feedback network is, that is output of the amplifier. Some portion of the output, it is again fed back to the feedback network, and output of the feedback network again given to the amplifier. Okay, it is like a closed loop over there. So this is nothing but the oscillator, consists of amplifier block and the feedback path. So this feedback, it may vary from one oscillator to another oscillator. So here in the RC phase shift, in the feedback network, we are making use of RC network, that is resistor capacitor network we are going to make use of. Okay, so depending upon this, the feedback, it is going to produce some phase shifts. Okay, amplifier, when I say amplifier, here we are going to make use of op-amp, that is operational amplifier. So there are two kinds of operational amplifiers are there, inverting and non-inverting, out of which we are going to make use of inverting amplifier. As you all know, inverting amplifier, When I give the input, sinusoidal input, it is going to produce the inverted output signal, right? Inverted output signal means from input to output there is a 180-degree phase shift. So oscillator, actually it depends upon the Barkhausen criteria. Oscillator should satisfy the Barkhausen criteria. So what is this Barkhausen criteria? That is nothing but, it is given in the next slide. Barkhausen criteria: loop gain must be equal or greater than unity. So what is this loop gain? Loop gain, we know it is a product of amplifier gain into the feedback path gain, that is A into beta. It should be equal or greater than 1. If it is equal means we are going to get the sustained oscillation, means constant amplitude and frequency. If it is greater means there will be oscillation, it is going to growing type of oscillations we are going to get. In a sense, as the time increases, oscillation it increases, keep on increasing. Next, the second criteria is the loop phase shift must be 0. In the sense, the feedback, whatever the phase shift we are going to get over here at the output, that should be 0-degree phase shift or 360-degree phase shift, or it might be a multiples of 2 pi. Okay, so here we are using an inverting amplifier. So inverting amplifier means already 180-degree phase shift will be there. If there is a 180-degree phase shift, means doesn't satisfy the Barkhausen criteria. So how to obtain 0-degree or 360-degree? Either this feedback network, it should produce 180-degree phase shift or minus 180-degree phase shift. So what they are doing is, see, already this is producing minus 180-degree phase shift. So the thing is, I have to make here this feedback network produces the plus 180-degree phase shift. So that is why 3 different stages of RC it is being used over here. That is one stage, second stage, and the third stage. So the input to this feedback network is output of the amplifier, and output of this feedback path is given as the input for the amplifier, and this is acting as the feedback resistor for the inverting amplifier. So in the feedback path, we have the 3-stage RC network. 3-stage RC network. So 180-degree phase shift is there, and 3 different stages of RC we are going to make use of. So how this is going to produce the 180-degree phase shift is, each stage it is going to produce 60-degree phase shift. That we are going to see here. See, single stage of RC. 3 stages are there in the feedback. So single stage of RC means it is going to produce 60-degree phase shift. Actually, theoretically saying it is going to produce 90-degree phase shift. So how is that possible? See, if I take a single RC network, what is the impedance of that? Impedance is nothing but R minus J into XC, because this is a capacitor. R minus J into XC, which is nothing but XC means it is a capacitive reactance. That is nothing but 1 divided by 2 pi fc, that much ohms. If I write in terms of impedance, polar form, impedance at an angle minus 5 degree. Why minus? Because it is J, R minus J JXC. So the phase shift will be minus 5 degree. If it is plus means you will be getting here plus 5 degree. But this is a capacitor, so it is minus 5 degree ohm. So when you calculate the RMS value of the current, what is the equation? V by Z. VI, that will be, voltage will be in phase with the input voltage, will be in phase with the current. Now we are calculating the output voltage, right? So to calculate output voltage, we require what is I, current flowing. So that is nothing but VI divided by Z. What is Z? Z at an angle minus 5. So minus 5, when I take this to the numerator, it will be like VI by Z plus 5. So what is that? Impedance, that is nothing but magnitude of that is R square plus XC square, and phi is nothing but tan inverse of XC divided by R. So from this expression of the current, it can be seen that, see how the current and the voltage VI, it is relating. So current I, we got VI by Z at an angle plus 5 degree, plus 5 degree. So what we can say is, your voltage, the current leads the voltage by an angle phi. So this angle phi, it is theoretically your current in the capacitor, which lags, VC lags the current in case of capacitor by 90 degree. We know that 90 degrees. So if voltage lags means current leads, right? So current leads the voltage by 90 degree theoretically, but practically when we are speaking, this angle phi will be adjusted to 60 degrees. So this is how each stage of RC it is going to produce 60 degree phase shift. 3 stages means 60 plus 60 plus 60, it is going to produce 180 degree phase shift. So this is going to produce plus 180 degree phase shift. So this is going to produce plus 180 degree phase shift, and amplifier which produces minus 180 degree, together it will be 0 degree phase shift. That is one of the requirements of your oscillator according to Barkhausen criteria. And the one more requirement is, that is product of A into beta, it should be equals to 1. If it is equals, this is equals to 1, suppose you consider here now open loop gain is 20. What might be the value of beta to get A beta is equals to 1? If this is 20, this should be 1 divided by 20, right? So that is what they are telling. See, if I make use of 3-stage RC, it is going to produce a beta of 29. That is this beta, sorry, 1 by 29. This is going to produce a constant value 1 divided by 29. So what must be the value of open loop gain, or the gain of the amplifier is A is equals to 29. That is a one more thing we need to remember here, because we are making use of 3-stage RC, which is going to produce beta as 1 divided by 29. If I make use of 2-stage RC, then the beta factor might be different. Okay, so here we are making use of 3 stages. So beta is 1 divided by 29. So A, we should maintain it as 29 to obtain the sustained oscillations. Okay, this is what the feedback network. If I provide the input to the feedback network, that is nothing but the output of the amplifier. If it is like this, then the output of the feedback network will be 180 degree phase shift will be there. So when I come to the design part, as I told here, see, when the required 180 degree phase shift is produced, the feedback factor, that is beta, will be 1 divided by 29. This means amplifier must have a closed loop gain of at least 29 to give a loop gain of 1. That is to obtain the sustained oscillation. That is oscillation with the constant amplitude and frequency. If I want means my amplifier gain, closed loop gain should be 29. Next, how to design this circuit? This circuit is designed something like this. So this is an inverting amplifier. When I say inverting amplifier, we are going to make use of op-amp 741. Most commonly used op-amp is 741. We need to know the specification before we design the circuit. So what are the specifications of this 741? That is the output voltage. It will be 1 volt lesser than the supply voltage. Supply voltage will be plus or minus 12 volt. Then one more specification we want is bias current, maximum bias current, because from this we will be getting what is the current flowing in this input resistor R1. So this I1, that is the current flowing in the input resistor R1, is the I1 that is 100 times greater, 100 times the maximum bias current of the 741 op-amp. So what is IB max? Maximum bias current, it is 500 nano ampere for 741. So I1 is the current flowing in the input resistor R1, that is nothing but 100 into 500 nano ampere, which is nothing but 50 micro ampere. And we know the output voltage, it is 1 volt lesser than the supply voltage. So V naught or output voltage is plus or minus 11 volt. Next is the input voltage. Input voltage, how we are going to calculate, you see, that is using the gain formula, output divided by input. So input we are going to calculate here. So V naught divided by the gain. Gain we know it is 29. So 11 divided by 29, we will be getting 379 millivolt as the input voltage, VI. Why we require this? Because we need to obtain what is the value of R1. Across this R1, we are obtaining VI. Right? That is nothing but a input we are providing to the op-amp. So R1 can be calculated as V by I. We know I1, we know VI. Substitute that to those two values, and then we will be getting R1 as 7.6 kilo ohm. So nearer to this, there is a standard resistor of 6.8 kilo ohm we are going to make use of. So R1, since R1 is included in the feedback resistor, all these are producing 60 degree phase shift. So R1 should be equals to R2, it should be equals to R3. So if R1 is 6.8K, even R2 and R3, it will be 6.8K. Next is regarding the feedback resistor. See, feedback resistor is nothing but this is an inverting amplifier. So what is the gain? V naught by V in is nothing but our feedback resistor divided by the input resistor, right? So feedback resistor can be calculated as gain into the input resistor R1. So 29 into 6.8K, which is nothing but 197 kilo ohm. So the standard resistor we are going to choose is 220 kilo ohm. Next is we need to calculate what is the value of this capacitor. So this capacitor value uh, using the frequency of oscillation of RC phase shift. There is an equation for oscillation frequency of RC phase shift oscillator, that is F is equals to 1 divided by 2 pi RC into root 6. This you need to know. This frequency equation you need to know. This will be different for different oscillator circuit. So this is the equation for RC phase shift. So 1 divided by 2 pi RC root 6. You know all these values. You're going to calculate what is the unknown value C. So since this circuit is designed for the frequency of 3 kilohertz, because RC phase shift, it will be oscillation frequency range, it is in the audio range. It is in the audio range, so it is designed for 3 kilohertz. Mainly this will be used for the audio purpose. Okay, so 2 pi R value is 6.8K, frequency is 3K into root 6, which is going to produce the capacitor value as 3185 picofarad. So choosing the value, you're going to choose the value 3300 picofarad. That is a standard value. So this is how the design is done. Next, we are going to simulate this circuit in the PSpice. So you know the procedure, like you know the procedure. What is the procedure? Procedure is, you have already known, you have to open here. One second. You need to type here, that is you need to install the OrCAD PSpice software initially. So when you type here OrCAD, you'll be getting OrCAD Capture CS Lite. Open that. And the very first procedure is, you are going to click on File, New Project. So here you're going to give the name as anything name you can give, RC phase shift oscillator. Okay, any short name you can give. Here I'll be giving it as this one. So the location you are going to save in the C drive. Okay, so next is click on OK, and then create a PSpice project. So anything you can click here. Clicking OK. Okay, so you'll be getting this window. So under this, you are going to create a new schematic. So this is a window you'll be getting. This window you'll be getting. Okay, so here you're going to draw the circuit diagram. So how to draw the circuit diagram? You know the procedure. That is, go to place part. Okay, at that time you'll be getting this window, place part window you'll be getting. Under this you will be having 3 more contents are over here. That is, one is, this is the place where you can search your components, and this window which will give us the part list, and the next one is library. Okay, so how to add the libraries? For each component will be specified under some libraries. So if you click on this icon, add library, it will take you to the different libraries available in the PSpice. Okay, what I had done is, because I don't know, for initially for the beginner, you won't be knowing like which device will be, which component will be under which library. That is why copy all these library into the place part window. Okay, so when you select all the libraries, it can be seen over here. And then to search a particular device or a component, what being a beginner, what you can do is you can select all this. See, I had selected all. So if you select this particular source, then whatever the devices or components under source, it will be shown over here. And from this, you can select whichever the part you want. But for a beginner, he won't be knowing like which devices will be under which library. For that, what you can do is you can click and drag the entire library, and then you can start searching over here. So to rig up the RC phase shift oscillator using an op-amp, you require 741 op-amp. Search 741 op-amp. It is a mu A741. If I type mu A741, you can observe here many 741 op-amps are available, out of which you can try with all this, but whichever it is whichever it is with, I mean, not all the op-amps it is going to work, so that you have to search. So here I'll be making use of mu A741 evol, that is evol. This particular 741 op-amp I'm going to make use of. Double click on this. You'll be getting that device or component in the window. Place that wherever you want. Then you can select. So other than this, what you require resistors, capacitors, and the DC voltages, and then ground. So next I'll be going for place PSpice component. Directly here you can get the resistor and the capacitor, or else you can search in the place part. Anything you can do. Resistor. So how many resistor I want? Feedback resistor I want, and then input resistor I want. Is that correct? Input resistor I want. And then 2 more resistors in the feedback network. Correct? Then select the capacitor. Select the capacitor. You require 3 capacitors. One over here, one more here, and one more is over here. Okay. And then you require, what you require? DC source you require. That is to provide the plus VCC and minus VCC. So that also you can get in PSpice component. Go for sources. Here PSpice component, go for source, control sources, current sources, everything it is there. I want voltage source which is of DC. Click on voltage source DC. You require for minus VCC and plus VCC. Okay. Now everything we have selected except ground. So ground. Okay. First selection it is 0. Okay, click on OK. Where and all you require ground, you place it. One is at the second terminal, and one more is at the sources. Here we require actually, and then over here. Okay. So yeah, you see here. Yes, this is a circuit we are going to make here. Now you do the connection. So how we are going to do the connection? Before doing the connection, what you can do is you're going to mirror horizontally this op-amp, because here I want non-inverting terminal. Inverting amplifier is it is. So second pin I'm going to give the input. Okay. So here right click on this op-amp. You're having an option called mirror horizontally. Click on that. Mirror vertically. Mirror vertically. Okay, and then you can rotate all this however you want. You can rotate it. R here also, R again here also, R. Okay, and then this you can move little bit upwards. Next is you're going to connect all these components. So place wire option is there. Place wire. So second pin, input resistor is there, and this is a feedback resistor which is connected to the second pin, and then this resistor is connected, escape, one second. Place wire. Next is this is connected to the capacitor, and then again this capacitor is connected to the other capacitor. This capacitor is connected to the next one, and this capacitor is connected to the sixth pin. Okay, sixth pin. So let us connect over here. So yes, and then this one second, this should be more. Okay, and then select, little bit move this ground point over here. Okay, next is you can make the connections. Sixth pin output. So here it is connected. Next is this resistors. It is connected to this junctions. Okay, and then it has been connected to the other end of the resistor is connected to the ground. So what you can do is you can move this ground point downwards and then connect it. Okay, next you can, from here you can obtain the connection for this. Okay. Next is your this thing is connected. Okay, so you can select, this is plus VCC. 7th pin is a plus VCC pin. 7th pin is plus VCC. So here you can connect plus VCC, plus VCC, and this is connected to the ground. It is very easy. You can make the connections however you want. It need not be in the same manner. Okay. Next is the above VCC. How it is connected? Should be connected to negative terminal. Okay, and this terminal is connected like this. Okay, so all the connections are done now. Then yeah, this is not done. That is third pin. It is grounded. Yeah. Now we have finished all the connection. The thing is, you need to select the appropriate values for the resistors and the capacitors. Okay, so you can double click on the components. You can change the value as well as the names. So here this is a first resistor, input resistor. So name it as R1. Click on OK. Then one, it is 6.8 kilo ohm resistor, 8K. Okay, and capacitor, this is of 3300 pico. Click on OK, and then this is also of 6.8K. Okay, and then this is of 3300 pico. Okay, and then this is of 6.8K. Okay, okay, and then this is R2. Okay, this is R3. Click on OK, and this is C1, C2, C3. It will be same, and this is plus 12 volt, 12 volt. Okay, and this fourth pin is minus. Since we had connected this to the negative terminal, so this value should change it as 12 volt. It will be taking as minus 12 only. 12 itself. Okay. And this is a feedback resistor, RF. Okay, and this feedback resistor value is 220K. Click on OK, and before seeing the simulation, you are going to place the voltage marker. Wherever you want to see the output, you are going to place the marker, voltage marker. Okay, then you can Select this one. Okay. Next is you are going to see the simulation output. To see the simulation output, you need to create the simulation waveform first. So go to PSpice and then new simulation profile. Okay, give one name, RC phase shift. Okay, create. So you'll be getting this window. In this window, few settings you need to do, simulation settings. So the analysis, it is of time domain type, and the general settings, that is run to time, I'll be giving it as 950 milli, and then this start saving data after 940 milli. I'll give me 940 milli, and then maximum step size of 0.01 milli, and then I'm going to skip the initial transient bias point calculation and click on apply. Okay. Okay, now run the simulation. So when you run the simulation, it will take some time. You'll be getting this window, schematic RCPS window. 1 second. Here the voltage marker. Afterwards, you need to, after creating the simulation profile, you are going to place the marker. Okay. So next you can start simulating. Yes, you'll be getting yeah, one few corrections it is there. See, first pin and fifth pin offset pins. These two pins we are not making use of. So what you can do is you can place the no connection for this. Okay, so place the no connection for these two. Okay, then click on save and then run. One second. So here you'll be getting, this is fourth pin, sixth pin. It is correct, 6.8K. So I had already done this. I'll show the output of that. Okay. One second. So you'll be getting the waveform. So when you simulate this, you'll be getting the waveform. You'll be getting the waveform. You'll be getting the waveform like this. So that is the output waveform. It is of constant amplitude and constant frequency. See the output, in the peak, it is voltage. It is from 12 volt to minus 12 volt. It will be constant amplitude, and frequency also it is constant. See what is the frequency you can calculate from here to here, one cycle. So it is 940.4 milliseconds. When you take the inverse, you will be getting the frequency. It will be around 3 kilohertz. So this is what we'll be getting. So the output, it is output voltage and the output frequency. Output voltage you are going to calculate, and then the output frequency you are going to calculate. So this is regarding the RC phase shift oscillator. Thank you.